You have just completed your evaluation of a PCC level coaching session. Your notes are detailed C3 at PCC level, C5 strong on the what, but missing the who. C7 has moments of genuine non-attachment and moments where the coach directed. Someone asks, did they pass? At ACC, you calculate the algorithm and compare to 2.8. At PCC, there is no algorithm. The question is not, did the math work out? It is, does the overall pattern demonstrate PCC level skill? That is a professional judgment. This video explains what grounds it. No scoring algorithm does not mean no rigor. It means a different kind of rigor, grounded in ICF competency definitions, anchored to observable markers, consistent across assessors, and documented so it can be defended. The outcome is not a numerical score that crosses a threshold. It is a professional evaluation grounded in evidence. As a mentor coach, you are not doing arithmetic and checking the answer. You are building a judgment, and that judgment needs to be explainable, specific, and competency anchored. At ACC, the evaluative question is, did the math work out? At PCC, does the overall pattern of coaching demonstrate PCC level skill with sufficient depth across enough competencies? At ACC, marker count drives the outcome. Presence of behaviors is primary. The process is threshold-based. At PCC, pattern and depth drive the outcome. Integration across competencies matters. The process is qualitative professional judgment. That shift from counting to judging changes what you need to develop as an evaluator. Assessors listen for 4 things. First, a minimum number of markers demonstrated across the session, not all 37, but enough to establish a pattern. Second, sufficient depth, not just presence, but quality of demonstration. Third, integration, competencies appearing fluidly, not in isolation. Fourth, session pattern, coaching that holds its quality consistently, not just in peak moments. You cannot hit 3 strong moments and call it PCC. The qualitative model demands that the pattern hold across the session, more demanding than the algorithmic one in that respect. PCC coaching integrates competencies fluidly. A single exchange can demonstrate C5, C6, and C7 simultaneously. The coach responds to who the client is, picks up their specific language, and shares without attachment, all in one moment. A numerical model rates each behavior separately. The qualitative model holds the whole, which is the right approach for the level of practice it is assessing. Integration is the PCC standard. Qualitative judgment is the appropriate instrument for measuring it, not a workaround. The right tool for what is actually happening in PCC level coaching. The shift to qualitative assessment changes your feedback language. At ACC, you could say your score was 2.4. You need 2.8. At PCC, you cannot and should not try. The language that serves your mentor coaching client is specific, competency anchored, and developmental. I see C6 at PCC level consistently. C7 is still showing ACC level patterns. Here is what PCC level depth looks like for C7. That gives the coach a clear picture of where they are and what the gap looks like. Qualitative competency anchored language does that. Numerical language cannot. 2 special cases, they work the same at PCC as at ACC. Competency 1 ethics uses a binary system at every credential level. Both qualifiers must be observed. Pass, fail, no exceptions. A PCC candidate with strong coaching in all competencies but an ethics concern, that is a fail. Competency 2, coaching mindset, is assessed via the credentialing exam using the same 11 proxy markers as ACC, not assessed in the recorded session, exam-based evaluation only. These two competencies are consistent across levels. Ethics does not become more nuanced at PCC. 2 instruments, different purposes. The session observation form is the microscope, deep analysis of a single session, in-session marker evidence. The competency review form is the timeline, developmental patterns and priorities across multiple sessions. The session observation form tells you what happened in this session. The competency review form tells you how the coaching is developing across the engagement. Both are necessary. The session observation form feeds the competency review form. The microscope gathers evidence. The timeline surfaces the pattern. The competency review form tracks 4 dimensions: per competency evidence captured at the individual competency level, demonstrated level, each competency rated ACC, PCC, or inconsistent, developmental priorities, the 2 or 3 focus areas for this engagement, emerging patterns, trends surfaced across the full arc. This document evolves across the engagement. It is a cumulative developmental record, not a single session snapshot. Before each mentor coaching session, the competency review form is what you review. It tells you what to watch for and what the conversation needs to address. Here is what a professional PCC evaluation sounds like. Based on the evidence across this session, I observe PCC level coaching in C3, C5, and C6, ACC level coaching in C7 and C8, and no inconsistent behaviors. That judgment is built from observation, competency-anchored evaluation, and documented evidence. The competency review form helps you structure it. The PCC model asks more of you than ACC did. There is no number to check your work against. You stand behind your judgment with evidence. That is professional evaluation at this level.